This is a car insurance hack I wish I knew years ago.
Let's break down some of the best things I've done for my finances in my 20s as a 25-year-old who has an over $100,000 net worth.
As someone who saved £50,000 by the age of 23, I'm in no rush to pay off my student loan.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be looking at some of the smartest financial decisions people are making right now. So whether you're just starting out or just looking to improve your money game, this video is for you, so stay tuned. So I'll be reacting to some videos with some practical tips, things from saving to investing, car loans and student loan strategies, and sharing my honest thoughts on each one. And as you know, this is what this is all about. So if you find it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please put some comments below. That really helps the channel. For now, let's get into it. So up first, we've got this girl who's got some very smart financial habits. Let's take a look.
These are 5 things that I'm doing in my 20s to get ahead financially from my 30s. Number 1 is tracking my expenses. I don't restrict myself, I just simply am aware of what I'm spending. This involves regularly checking my bank account balance and also using apps like Emma to see all of my expenses from different accounts all at once. Number 2, I pay myself first. I set automatic transfers up to my savings and investment accounts on payday, and I treat saving like a bill. Famous investor Warren Buffett once said, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." This is a mantra that I've always had.
I like that. Taking money out of your salary and then putting it into your savings account first. That way, you're almost forced to only spend what you've got left remaining in your account. Very smart. Let's have a look.
I personally have focused on building multiple streams of income. I don't like to rely on just one source of income. Other people might pour all of their energy into their 9 to 5 to upskill and increase their income that way, but I found that building a personal brand online has been much more lucrative for me, and it also gives me the freedom of having both. I essentially doubled my income within a year by doing this. Number 4, I educated myself about investing early, and I started even with small amounts like £50 or £100 here and there. There's a reason why compound interest was called the 8th wonder of the world, because starting young matters. And number 5, I avoided lifestyle inflation. As my income has doubled within the last year, it's very tempting to use that money and buy into luxuries or make my life more comfortable. I've barely increased my expenses since I was an intern. I try to always bring a...
I think a lot of people find that hard, don't they? If they have an increase in their income, the natural tendency is to go and splash that cash, whether it's, new clothes, designer cars, luxury cars, and that sort of thing. But she seems to be quite smart here. She's, rather than upgrading her lifestyle, she's keeping her lifestyle the same. So that surplus income that she's making just stays in her savings account. That's why she's accumulated so much in savings.
Pack lunch to work, I'll make coffee at home or at work, and I try not to overconsume on makeup, skincare, etc. So these are some things that I've personally done to get ahead financially in my 20s.
So I think that one was packed with a lot of value, guys. I don't know what you think. I mean, tracking her expenses, paying herself first, building multiple income streams, investing early and avoiding lifestyle inflation. Those are all really important habits. They're definitely long-term habits that will pay off. And that Warren Buffett quote, that's solid gold. So let's have a look at some of the comments here, guys. Honestly, such great advice. I mean, it is good advice, isn't it? It's straight to the point. It's helping you guys just make better decisions, having us all really. Expense tracking is so real. It is. It's quite an active process, and you are better for it at the end of it. Someone's saying cutting down on skincare and makeup was the biggest thing for me. I guess as a woman, if that's what you spend a lot of your money on, it probably is quite expensive. So now we've got someone who's built a net worth of over £100,000. Let's see how she did it.
Let's break down some of the best things I've done for my finances in my 20s as a 25-year-old who has an over $100,000 net worth. Your 20s can be so overwhelming just learning about money and how to manage money, but the earlier that you can set yourself up for success, the better you will be in the long term. The first thing is going to be consistently keeping my fixed expenses low. When I mean fixed expenses, these are going to be any sort of expense that you incur on a regular basis every single month. So think things like rent, groceries, laundry, subscriptions, loan payment. My recommendation to everyone would be to try to keep this between 50 to 60% of your net income. The second is going to be always paying myself first. And what I mean by this is every time that I get a paycheck into my bank account, first comes out money to my investment account automatically, and second, automatically money goes to my savings account. This way I'm prioritizing saving and investing before I'm spending the money on anything fun.
Again, you can see it's a common trait, isn't it, amongst these successful people? Paying yourself first. If you can, take that money out and just save it.
The third is going to be leveraging credit cards effectively. What I mean by this is keeping your balances low, paying them off every single month, and having a stack of credit cards that is going to benefit you in the best way possible. This has allowed me to build a very high credit score, and also I have not paid for a flight in literally years. Fourth is going to be staying on top of my—
It's all right having lots of credit cards. Fine, definitely looks good, but make sure the balances are low and you pay them off on time. That will build your credit score.
expenses and making sure that I'm never spending more than I make. Ever since the day I started making an income, I have been tracking the money that I bring in versus the money that goes out. This has helped me to identify patterns within my spending and areas of overspending, and also to make sure that I'm never going in the negative. And finally, it's going to be just learning to have a healthy relationship with money. I feel like money used to be something that caused a lot of stress for me when I was growing up, but the more that I've been able to really dive in and learn about it more has helped me to have a better relationship. I see money more as an enabler than I see it as something that causes stress. And I've learned to not beat myself up when I overspend and to learn just how to react and grow from that.
Okay, let's have a look at some of the comments here, guys. Some people mainly here just saying how much they love this particular bit of content. Thanks for sharing. Love your account. Love this. I mean, it is good advice at the end of the day. It's going to make everyone's life a bit better if they could follow it. So I love how this one builds up on the last one, really. It was actually quite good. She's keeping all of her fixed expenses really low. She's automating her savings and investments. And she's definitely using credit cards to her advantage. She's using it the right way. She's using them in such a way that the balances are low, that she can pay them off on time every month without incurring any interest. And that definitely builds up credit score. Definitely a really good strategy there, guys. And I think tracking spending was actually an excellent point as well. I think a lot of us will overlook. Definitely look at what you're spending your money on. Track everything on your app. Make sure whatever money you've got coming in definitely can cover what's going out. And that's the best way to stay in control of your money. What do you guys think? Comment below. So the next video is actually a add-on to the first video. Same girl. She's made 50k in savings by the age of 23, and she tells us how she does it and why she's not paying off a student loan. Let's have a look.
As someone who saved £50,000 by the age of 23, I'm in no rush to pay off my student loan, personal finance and investing videos, and I've saved over £50,000 by this age, and I did so through living at home and being supported while at university, but also through a lot of discipline and saving and investing my money, and also finding new ways to make extra income. So I did a 4-year university course, and one of those years was a placement year. Still had to pay for that year even though I wasn't technically at university, and I also had a maintenance loan. So the amount I've saved and the amount
That's smart. That's smart, actually. That's something that I did when I went to university. I stayed at home with my parents who supported me, and that way I was able to take out much less maintenance loan and my overall costs were lower. So yeah, excellent.
Have in my student loan is very much similar, and I could pay it off if I wanted to, but here's why I don't want to. So firstly, let's understand the way repayments work. So it's income based, so it's only based on the amount that you earn. So in the UK, you have to be over a certain threshold to start repaying your loan, and you only pay a percentage of your income. Although the interest is high, it's about 7 or 8%, but it varies. It doesn't matter because it's still linked to my income, so I'll only pay it back proportionally to how much I earn. But if I didn't earn enough, there's a chance I wouldn't even pay it back in 30 years, but I am planning to be a high earner, so I will end up paying more of my student loan back than I originally borrowed. But that doesn't bother me because it's going to come out gradually in every paycheck.
I get where she's coming from. It's not like a traditional loan, a student loan. So obviously, if she's not earning enough, she doesn't have to pay anything to the taxman. But clearly, she's planning to earn a lot, so she probably will end up paying back her student loan fairly quickly.
Not like if I start earning less, the debt collectors are going to come to my house. It's not a traditional debt in that sense. If I have to pay it out every single month from my earnings, then this will be just something that I have to take into account, a bit like a tax. Instead of using my hard-earned savings and investments to pay off my student loan, I'm just going to invest that money and hopefully it will grow at a faster rate than my interest does. Even then, I have no plan to pay it back in full. I'm just going to keep paying it in the monthly repayments, even if that means spending more over a long period of of time. It just means that I won't be without all that capital that I've worked so hard to achieve. Really important when you're learning about personal finance or business in general is maintaining cash flow. Being without that £50,000 means I have less to do with my money.
Yeah, a smart move there, really. She wants to keep cash flow. And I think she's thinking about getting into business later on in life. And I think you need sort of liquid cash to be able to do that. So rather than put all that money into paying off a student loan, which I'm sure maybe some of her friends have, she can use that money and do something a bit more shrewd and perhaps invest into business, where she can make back a lot more income and choose to pay off a student loan faster than if she wants to. But I guess I see where she's coming from here. So as you can see, this is definitely next level thinking. So now let's talk about lifestyle pressure and overspending. I'm sure a lot of us have come across at some point in our lives, whether it's trying to get the best car, the best television, the best homes. The next video kind of encompasses that. It's a powerful reminder of not stretching yourself too thin. Let's take a look.
One of the best financial advice I ever got was, don't finance a life you're going to secretly resent. Meaning, do not buy a big house, do not buy a big car, do not buy luxury clothes if you cannot sustain that long term, and if you are not willing to work the same schedule you're currently working to be able to afford these things. People get caught up in buying the thing because it's exciting, you get that dopamine rush, and it's really nice. We all like to have nice things, but a lot of us don't think long term about the consequences of that. Most of the time, it means more work, or more sacrifice of your free time. Let's say you buy a big house because you can currently afford a 4-bedroom house. In this economy, that's very rare, but you know what I mean. And so you move in and you can afford your mortgage payments, your property taxes, all of it, because you've calculated that. However, you stretched yourself incredibly thin because you really wanted the big house. Well, now you have to furnish it, so you need more money. And then something breaks, so you have to get a side hustle to make up for it. And then the property taxes next year go up.
Actually, no, a couple like this, they wanted a very nice house. In fact, they were mortgage free at one point. They had a very nice 3-bedroom semi-detached property, and now they've sort of upgraded to a 5-bedroom detached house. And it's very expensive, and they're having to work as hard as they can to pay it off. So this definitely rings home with me. I don't know about you guys. Let's have a look.
So now you have to start looking for a different job, a more intensive job to make up the extra amount of money that you need. And then unfortunately, your partner loses their job because these companies don't care about you. And now you have to figure out how to make an extra salary because you've already stretched yourself way too thin. Really think about the long-term consequences of everything that you buy. And if you're not willing to maintain this working lifestyle that you have right now, maybe it's not worth buying that thing.
So let's have a look at some of the comments here, guys. Some very like-minded people here, which is great to see. I'd rather have a less expensive lifestyle and be able to work for a bit less. I have the same mindset. I think at the end of the day, if you live within your means, it just means that you've got more time to do the things that you enjoy. So when I say saying, don't finance a lifestyle that you're going to secretly resent. That is so true. I think a lot of people do that, with a really expensive cars. I'm not talking about sort of like, a basic model car. There are some people who are driving around, 50, 60, 70,000 pound cars every day. And those monthly payments must be out of the roof. You can't help but wonder if they resent all the payments they have to make. And this one's a bit funny. Where's your bedding and comforter from? I mean, the bedding does look nice, doesn't it? Yeah. I love some of these comments. And it carries on. Where are the sheets from? They're so cute. And then she's put down, actually, it's from IKEA. So if you guys really want the bed sheets, go to IKEA. I think this one definitely hit home, guys. Buying things now just because you can afford them doesn't mean you can in the future. If keeping up with your lifestyle means losing your free time or your peace of mind, it's just not worth it, in my opinion. Don't mistake short-term excitement for long-term freedom. Well, I can definitely relate to this one. I made similar changes for myself, and yeah, I mean, I value my time more. My freedom is better. I would rather keep my spending habits low, live within my means. It means I've got more time to spend with my friends, my family, and enjoy the things I like to do in my spare time. So going to the gym, spending time with the kids in the park, it's way more valuable to me owning just a bigger house or a nicer car. Don't know what you guys think, but leave your comments below. So let's move on to cars now. The question is, Should you buy? Should you lease? Should you rent? That's the big question these days. The next video is someone explaining how that works. I think she's a bit of a guru when it comes to car finance. Let's take a look.
The way to always go with a car is buy it outright if you can, secondhand, and 3 to 5 year old. That is like the sweet spot where it's depreciated enough at someone else's expense and it won't depreciate as much when you have it. If you are someone who doesn't mind making the less financial savvy choice and wants a nice, cool car every couple of years, but is happy to pay with the extra cost that comes with it, then rent. That's the mindset or the approach to take those two with. When it comes to rent, in the UK, there's different ways to rent. There's lease, PCP, getting a bank loan. The way to approach that is think about how long you're going to have that car for and what the price is for owning it for that specific period. Figure out what the total cost of ownership is, calculate those.
Well, that was a pretty good one, guys. I mean, she's absolutely right. Buying a car that's sort of 3 to 5 years old is definitely the sweet spot. You know, it's not so old where you're going to have a lot of problems, but it's old enough that it's lost all of its initial value so that when you go to buying the car, it's not as expensive. I don't know how many of you are in a position to buy a car outright, but if you are, this would be the best way of doing it, really, a car that's 3 to 5 years old. But if you do lease, you just need to be honest with yourself about the true cost of what it's costing you, I guess. So it's not about being right, it's about making an informed choice. I suppose one way of buying the car outright in the cheapest possible way is maybe look at a bank loan. Usually bank loans offer you a much cheaper interest rate compared to the car finance that you get at a dealership. So you could make a saving that way, buy the car outright, pay off the bank loan and still own the car at the end, or the car will lose value over a period of time, but you'll still be the owner of the car. Now, if you must lease, if you do enjoy changing your car every couple of years, that's fine. But like I say, just be honest with yourself about the cost if it's something that you're happy with. And I know a lot of people who are on PCP plans and just like to change their car every 3 years. They're fully aware of the cost, but they just enjoy driving a nice new car every time. And if you're making enough money to do that, that's absolutely fine. So let's have a look at some of the comments here, guys. No, never buy outright. Always use debt. Debt is untaxable and it's deductible. I guess that's from a tax point of view, I guess, isn't it? I think you definitely need to ask your accountant about that one. There might be a difference of opinion. Would love to have a spare 15k to buy a 5-year-old little runner outright. I guess not a lot of us would have 15 grand just lying around, to buy a car. It's a fair point, but she does say if you are in a position to buy one like that. But yeah, I can appreciate not everyone's got that kind of money. It is a lot of money, to be fair. I don't think anybody would just throw cash like that around. I love this one. This is so funny. PCP is like the Spotify subscription for cars. Nothing to show for it at the end, which is so true. Not unless you pay that balloon payment at the end and purchase the car outright, which is a possibility. But most people just change their car. And there's a fair point here. I don't understand the hate on PCP. You spend less on mechanic and servicing fees, which is true, which is a fair point. At the end of the day, your car is less likely to break down. Most cars on a PCP plan will come with extended warranty, so you can always get the car back for repairs and whatnot if it does happen. But you are still paying a lot of money. And I think, in this video, we see that a car that's 3 to 5 years old isn't a car that's always likely to break down. It's lost enough value, but still has enough life in it, so to speak, to sort of carry on for a very long time. So overall, you're better off financially with. Now, the next one's about a game-changing car insurance hack. Let's take a look.
This is a car insurance hack I wish I knew years ago. Literally, this one little thing that costs you no money, just a bit of planning, could literally save you hundreds off your car insurance for the year. I know, because I've done it. It works. Get your car insurance between 23 and 26 days in advance. For some reason, this shows insurers that you're a safer driver. I don't know why that is. Anyway, it makes your insurance cheaper. That's all you need to know. Make sure you do this. It's going to change the game.
Wow, that's quite useful. An easy win for everybody. I didn't know buying your car insurance between 23 and 26 days in advance would get you such a discount. I have tried to look at renewing my car insurance a certain number of days and a certain number of weeks before it's due. And I have found it is cheaper, but this specific 23 to 26 days, that's interesting. I like it. I might try that on my next one. Although I've just recently had to renew my insurance. I'll have to wait another year. But yeah, maybe something that we could all put into our diaries on our phone, right? Maybe our phones can remind us 23 or 26 days before, and let's see if we get any sort of discounts. If any of you've tried anything like this, drop a comment below. Let us know how much you've saved. It is an interesting one, I think. So let's have a look at some of the comments here, guys. Put your mileage down to 1,000 a year. Tell me if you can beat that quote. That's funny at the end of the day. I don't know many people do 1,000 miles a year. Even my wife, she'll do a couple of thousand miles a year. I mean, she doesn't drive very often. This is funny. I've lied every year, said I got a cheaper quote elsewhere and my insurer would lower it. This year, I just asked for them to lower it and they did by 15%. I guess just asking for a reduced insurance premium might just be just as effective as looking at purchasing 23 to 26 days beforehand. And there you go, guys. Some powerful money saving tips and hacks that will hopefully save you some money wherever you are on your financial journey. Which one of those stood out most for you? Let me know in the comments below. If you got value from this video, please hit that like, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for further notifications. So as you know, I'm a new channel and thank you for all the views on the last video. I really appreciate it. I'm really enjoying making this content. So please take a look at some of my other videos. Until next time, I'll see you on the next one.